I think just about everybody has signed on that was going to be signing on. So I just want to welcome everybody to today's session. It's kind of just a follow-up to our registration more in-depth session that Aaron did last Wednesday, Thursday, something like that, that we hosted. So there was a lot of questions at that time. I know Aaron's received quite a few questions over the week once registration officially opened. So this is an opportunity to chat with Aaron, see if there's other questions that you haven't been able to solve since registration opened on August 1st or you didn't get answered last week. And before Aaron, we're going to talk to Michael Eman. He's briefly going to introduce himself. He is the principal of Traill College, and we're happy to have him here today. Michael, over to you.
Thanks, Laurie. Thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. It's good to see, well, I don't actually see you all, but I know you're there, so I'm glad you're there. And I won't be too long because you're like, who is this guy? You know, why is he talking to me? But, you know, I'm the principal of Traill College. And as a graduate student new to Trent University, you're automatically enrolled in Traill College. And so this might confuse some people. They're going, what? I'm in university. What's this idea of being part of a college? And the collegiate system is something the oldest English language universities in the world have. Oxford, Cambridge, you might have heard of those places. Trent is one in that tradition of having colleges. And colleges are great because they offer a smaller community within the larger community, which you can get together, chat, and have contact with professors and staff and other students. Traill is the graduate college, so you'll be getting emails from me every week. We have a weekly newsletter. Please read it. It has something called Pizza Friday we do every Friday. It's a way to get together and just talk. Because one of the greatest things about education is that, as you know, Mark Twain once said, never let your schooling get in the way of your education. And so colleges are a way to talk and enjoy life and have fun, because education should be fun to help deal with the stresses of life outside of the classroom. Now, another thing we do at Traill College is we offer specific programs, services, and activities for grad students as well. So myself and the staff are there to help you if you ever want to chat, but we also do important things. We run workshops on writing, on time management. Stay tuned to the newsletter and my communications. You'll find out more about those things. We run the Simon Series for graduate research, which gives you real money to present your research to graduate students every month. We can talk more about that. I think August 26th, I'll be giving you the full meal deal, so to speak, the full description of everything that we do at Traill, and all sorts of things. We work with the TGSA, whom you may have heard of, the Trent Graduate Students Association, and we publicize their communications, and they actually are based at Traill College. Their office is there. Now, I won't go on too much longer, but I will say a couple other things, and what I want to say is, first, welcome and congratulations. It's a big deal to come to university, and this rarefied air that we breathe is kind of fun, and I want you to enjoy the experience. I want you to also know that Traill College will be open physically and online this fall, so come visit me. In fact, one of the big things we normally do at Traill College is every member of Traill College gets a limited edition Traill College scarves. Check out the scarf. And the scarf is a way just to say that you're part of something larger. And that's what's important about Trent University and its college system. There's actually a motto to Traill College right down here. It says, Nunc cognosco ex parte, which is Latin, so don't worry if you don't know it. But if you do know Latin, you know it means, now I know in part. And being a part of something is very important. And acknowledging there's more to learn is even more important. And that's what Traill College is all about. It's about expanding that graduate experience that you have and helping you learn more and making those connections that make education more of part of your life and a lifelong learning goal. So I think that's enough for me. I know you're going to get into some Q&As. Are there any Q&As before the other Q&As about the college or what we can do for you? See many. So the last thing I'll say then is, yes, you too can get one of these scarves. We normally do a scarf ceremony, but we won't be able to do something like that this year because it brings too many people together. However, the college office will be open in the fall. So if you want to come to see me individually, we will be socially distant, but together in scarves. And I will present you your very own scarf if you come down to Traill College. And that's it for me for today.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Michael. That was great. We'll talk to you again on 26th, the day we have our big orientation with all the services and different departments that can help our graduate students. That'll be on the 26th of August from 9 until we say noon, but it probably won't take that long. So hopefully everybody in attendance today will be on that call. Thanks, Michael.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Michael.
guys. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
I did forget to introduce Jessie to people. Jessie is here. She's part of our graduate studies team. And if there's lots of questions, she's helping to moderate calls and things like that as well too. So that's the other person. You can see video on your screen at the moment. And now I'm just gonna throw it over to Erin to maybe just do a quick little recap of registration for graduate students and see if there's questions that graduate students have at this time.
Okay, thank you, Lori. Can you see the presentation?
I
Yeah,
can see it.
it's
Hopefully
up
everyone
there.
else can too.
Okay, so graduate registration. I did welcome everybody. My name is Erin Davidson. I'm the Graduate Records and Registration Officer. My presentation last week went over all the steps to log into your account to access your student access, set that up, and then to begin the steps for graduate registration. Our registration did open up August 1st on the weekend, and we have had quite a few emails and questions regarding registration. So today I just was hoping to go over again some of the steps involved and then take your questions and hopefully provide some answers to make that process a little bit easier for everybody involved. So I guess we will start. I wanted to start off the meeting again with our land acknowledgement, which we do start all of our meetings at Trent University with, where we respectfully acknowledge that we're on the treaty and traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. We offer our gratitude to the First Peoples for their care for and teachings about our earth and our relations. May we honor those teachings. Again, I just wanted to go over a quick agenda here concerning registration steps. We're going to reiterate how you will activate your account and your Trent U email address, show you what the myTrent portal looks like once you become a student, understand your letter of offer, some of the registration steps and how you can confirm that with your academic record, how you'll pick up your campus card, which is your student card here at Trent University, a few more resources and upcoming events, and then I'll leave some time at the end if there are any questions. However, throughout the presentation, if you do have questions, feel free to use the chat feature on the Zoom call here, and Jessie or Lori will either answer your questions or sort of interrupt me and stop me so we can address what is the concern at the time. The myTrent access, just so you know, all Trent graduate students do have access to myTrent email accounts. They're available within the myTrent environment by clicking on the email icon. The first step is, though, to activate your account. So the trentu.ca/myTrent, the first step there, this is sort of what the screen looks like when you enter that screen. And the first step will be to activate your account. It will take you to a screen where for graduate students, the first step will be to fill out the new user activation form. There's a link provided. And the new activation form looks something like this. So you'll use the 7-digit student number that you can find on your letter of offer and the email address that you use to apply here at Trent University. Once you have those two fields completed, you can activate your account. It will give you a secure code that is either sent to your email address or to your personal phone. Using that secure code, you will enter it into this box here that you're provided, check the code, and at that point, you will be notified what your Trent U email address is and that your account has been successfully activated. Returning at that point, you'll be asked to update your password to something that is easy for you to remember. Keep in mind, Trent does ask for it to be a secure password and has a number of criteria that the password must meet in order to be approved. Once you have your account activated and set up, you can return to the myTrent screen, and this time you'll select the login button, the orange tab on the right. Your account is activated now, so this will allow you to log into the myTrent portal system. And you'll notice right away that the Trent portal has opened up to student status. So you'll have a number of additional features added to your myTrent portal than you did while you were an applicant. Most notably are the tabs up in the right-hand corner have opened up to you and give you all access that a student at Trent University will now have. You'll also notice that your application status has been updated in your myTrent portal. So this is just an example student, but for this example, the student is coming into the MA History program in September 2020, and it confirms that their student access has now been created. If you don't see this and you are seeing something along the lines of still being applicant status or still having your application under review, please notify our School of Graduate Studies, and we will do our best to address that and update your status to student status. The next step will be to just understand your letter of offer. So at this point, you have all been sent letters of offer outlining the details of your admission to Trent University. This will include any deadline dates that you may have, any deposit dates that you may be instructed to make, any funding package details that may be available, and other important information. It's important that you understand your letter of offer. And again, if there are any questions, please email our team and we'll do our best to address those questions individually. There may be extenuating circumstances that come up before this fall term that prevent you from starting your program. And if that's the case, many of our programs are offering deferrals to other terms. And this is something that you can consult with your graduate program with specifically and ask about details and options that are available to you. The registration for graduate studies, we do fall into 3 terms. The students are registered for 12 months a year, and we have 3 terms that fall into those 12 months. So for 4 months each, we have our fall term running September to December, our winter term, which runs January to April, and then what we call our spring-summer term, which takes you from May to August. Before picking any of your classes or registering for graduate studies, we do encourage you to speak with your graduate program and or your supervisor if applicable, and just make sure that you understand the degree requirements and any of the elective options that will be available to you during your studies. The academic calendar that's available to graduate studies is also a really great place so that you understand the degree requirements for your program, and you can help set that path early in your studies to make sure you're reaching the milestones on time and in the right order. The registration, so once you have set up your account, the next step will be to register for graduate studies. It is open now, it opened August 1st. The fall term remains open for registration until September the 10th. So for the next 5 or 6 weeks, the registration system will be open. The first step you will notice is on the top right corner, you're going to select the Register tab. And within the Register tab, you will select the course registration icon under Courses. This will take you into our registration system. And the first screen you'll be asked to sort of complete is your emergency contact information. This will come up the first time you log into our registration system, and this information is kept confidentially at the university, but it will require you to fill in the name and contact of someone who the university may contact if there are any emergency situations concerning you while you are a student at Trent. So you will just have to fill in a name and a contact piece, and then you can confirm that and submit. Each student will have this information presented to them at least once a year. And so the next time you log in for your second year of studies or after that, you will be asked just to confirm that the information remains correct or to update it as needed. The second screen you're going to be asked to accept are the financial responsibilities that are associated with registration. By choosing courses and registering in graduate studies, you are being asked to accept the financial and registration commitments that go along with your choices. There are drop dates, both financially and academically, that apply to graduate studies. They are listed in the academic calendar, as well as on our fee deadlines page. And it is important that all students understand these deadlines and the financial implications that surround them. And the third screen you're going to be asked to get through is the university policy screen. Again, it's just presenting this to the student before you get into the registration to make sure that you have read and that you understand two main pieces of university policy. The first one is the graduate academic integrity policy. There's a link provided so that you can read the policy applicable to that section. And then the access to instruction, just making sure that everyone understands that Trent University is an inclusive learning environment and that you understand both of those pieces before you proceed with registration. So once you get through those three screens, you are entering into the registration system. Graduate Studies has a two-step registration process. Step one is where we ask you to register for Graduate Studies. This lets you know, lets us know and lets the university know that you have checked in for the term and that you are an active graduate student. The second step is to register for any courses, exams, or comprehensive work that you're doing during that term. And those are term applicable. Some students don't do any courses if they're working on thesis or dissertations, and that's okay. If that is your case, then you would simply just complete step one. Step two is only if you are taking courses in a given term. So, yes,
Erin,
sorry.
can I just interrupt you for a quick second? Just one of the questions was back about 3 or 4 screens where you're entering in the emergency contact.
Yep.
Just one emergency contact is all they give you room for there. Is that correct?
They do. They just ask for one contact. That's right.
Okay.
One name and either an email or a telephone number.
Okay. So Samuel, in answer to your question, yeah, you can only put one emergency contact in this screen.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So step one is where we're going to ask you to register for Graduate Studies. Within the registration system, keeping it nice and simple, we're just asking you to fill out two fields. I'm sorry. The first is the term field where you're going to select, in this case, 2020 grad fall, and the subject. All of our graduate students are either full-time or part-time. So for this example, the student is coming into the fall as a full-time student, and you'll hit submit. This will return a number of choices. These are all the full-time options at Graduate Studies for the fall term. In this example, this is a master's level full-time student, so I'm going to go ahead and select that option and submit. And the third screen is to update the action tab to actually register myself into this section. So I'm going to fix the action tab to select register, submit, and finally it'll send back my registration results confirming that I have registered myself into full-time master's level for the fall term. Step one, complete. Step two is where I will pick any courses that I am taking this term. So again, for this example, I'm going to pretend I'm a history student. I'm going to select the term of 2020 grad fall, and this time I'm going to pick the subject of history and submit. This is going to pull back all of the history graduate level courses that are being offered in the 2020 fall term. For this example, I'll go ahead and select 2 classes that I'm going to register myself into and submit. And then again, updating the action tab to actually register myself into these 2 selected courses and submit. And finally, the registration results, which will confirm that I've successfully registered into these 2 courses. It will add them into my selections down here. So I now have Graduate Studies full-time and my 2 history courses listed for the fall term. At this time, you can go back and register yourself into the winter term and as well into the spring-summer term. Any students that are applying for OSAP or financial applications that do require you to be registered for the entire year, this is possible for graduate students. If you're only comfortable registering for the fall at this term, that is also okay. Winter term will remain open until January 10th, and our spring-summer term will remain open until May 10th. Going back into the myTrent portal, this time I'm going to select the academics tab and the academic record, which will sort of throw back my copy of what my transcript or what my academic record look like. And this is a good way for students just to confirm that they have registered successfully and that they are now attached to your academic record. So for this example, you can see that I've registered myself as a full-time student for the fall, for the winter, and for the spring, and that I've selected 2 history classes for my fall term. So this is sort of confirming that my registration is up to date and that I have it accurate as to what I was looking to do. If for some reason this is not successfully, if you're unable to register, or if you do have any questions, please feel free to email graduate@trentu.ca and we'll help our best to either fix the problem or to manually register you into your course selections. So once you're successfully registered and you have completed both of those steps, you can go ahead and get your myTrent card. So the myTrent card is your student card. It is also your library card, your gym card. It will get you into labs and doors that you need access to. And it's the easiest way to sort of pay for services on campus and also some services off campus that are available to Trent University students. Our campus card office has its own webpage, and if you visit campuscard@trentu.ca, you'll be able to see a full list of services that the card applies to, both on and off campus, as well as some handy tips on how to load your money onto the account and how to access your account. So they are asking that you do upload a photo through myTrent portal. It's under the Services tab, under Trent U photo submission, and that the cards will be available for you beginning September 1st for pickup at the card office in Blackburn Hall. If you do have questions, if you do have any unknowns before we begin the term in September, here's sort of a list of people that are very available for you to reach out to and happy to help with any of those adjustment issues and help you onboarding to graduate studies and to Trent University. Your program administrators, every program has an administrator assigned to it at the graduate level. And those are really your first stop if you do have questions or concerns about any of your graduate studies programs or about your studies this fall. We also have some upcoming sessions that we'd like to let you know about. So throughout the month of August, our team will be running a few of these Zoom workshops on various topics. Our next one coming up next week is on international students and some of the questions and concerns they may have. So our Trent International office is coming to present to those students, and we hope that everybody's able to log in. All of our sessions are being recorded and they will be posted online shortly after they conclude. So anyone who can't join us for these specific times are able to access those presentations after the fact. And again, our team is very available to answer any questions you may have as you go throughout the month of August and get ready to begin your studies. As Michael, I guess, mentioned, August 26th is our virtual orientation for all of graduate studies. That will be held at 9 a.m. on August 26th. And then most of our graduate programs are currently organizing and offering some specific program orientations, and I expect that you will hear from them specifically as to when and where they will be offering those and how to access those orientation events. And finally, just to remind you, we do have some upcoming important dates that all graduate students should be paying attention to at this point. August 1st, we did open up graduate registration. So like I said, it is open and live currently. Encourage everyone to have their registration concluded by September 10th at the latest. September 1st, any students studying in our professional programs do have their term fees due. September 10th is the deadline for registration for the fall term. And September 28th are when term fees are due for students studying in our research and thesis programs. So at this point, that sort of concludes the registration overview. I expect some questions still are out there. Feel free, like I said, if they are specific, to reach out to us through email, or if you want to set up a chat with one of our staff members, that's easy to do. Just please ask. And I guess I'll just sort of open it up for any specific questions we might have right now concerning registration or your access to myTrent. Is there any, Laura?
The only question that you haven't already answered, does the card attract charges? So I think he's talking about your myTrent card, your student card. So you load money onto it in order that you can, like, if you want to pick up a coffee on campus or you accessing the library. I'm trying to think of other things that
Like if
will
you wanted
cost
to
you
print
money.
at a printer.
Printer, yeah. So
Yeah.
you load money onto it through the card website that's on the Trent website, and there then you don't have to carry cash with you. I don't know if we're answering your question, but you put money on, and then you can use that kind of as a credit card, a debit card.
Mhm.
I hopefully that answers your question, Samuel. Are there any other questions out there? Or... Oh, and Jesse has just provided everyone with the website for the Trent U Card office. So,
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay, so good. That did answer your question, Samuel. Yeah, I think maybe you just did a great job, Erin, and you answered
Right? It's
everyone's
just
questions.
so easy.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, so we do have some
Nothing
workshops
else?
coming up to go, like we said, over finances, over international student status, to introduce you to some of our services and supports that are available to graduate students on and around our campus. So please log in and look to attend as many of those as you can. And again, yeah, please reach out. Our team's very available to answer any questions or concerns that you may have about starting graduate studies this fall term. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody virtually and hopefully in person very soon. Our campus is just starting to come alive again. Students and staff are starting to return to the campus, which is very exciting. Hopefully that continues. And yeah, I guess that concludes this presentation. This one's easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
so hopefully we'll see you all on the 26th. That's the main and big presentation, but for sure, if you have questions on finance, there's a lot of finance sessions next week where we can answer your questions, but the 26th will have all types of topics covered, so be sure to register. We'll look forward to talking to you then.
Great. Thanks, Lori.
Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.